Hey everyone, this is Daniel. This is my Gecko video update blog for July 12th, 2009. Yeah, I thought I'd try a different angle today. Whether or not it works decent, I don't know. Of course, after all, it is 6:40 in the morning, so, yeah, what can I say? New optimized CMonkey build is up. The difference this time is that no, it's not an optimized CMonkey 2.0 pre-beta 1 build. I did follow through last night and make my first CMonkey 2.1 pre-alpha 1 build, or in other words, the first Gecko 192 based build. It is up. It's available for download. The change sets are right over here, and it also includes the 2 patches that I mentioned on my video blog for yesterday. And for those of you who don't remember what those bugs were, well, there they are. One, of course, is my Python script patch that targets the trunk anyway. The trunk being Gecko 192. And the other one, which is a problem on the trunk, that deals with MySpace and the way they handle certain things. And believe me, previous test builds that I've created that failed, that showed this problem, very, very weird builds. If you go into Mozilla.org and type in MySpace, you'll see a whole lot of bugs related to it. So, not that one bug. I'm talking about a whole bunch of bugs that are MySpace related, period. Now, some, of course, are duplicates, some are invalid, but quite a few of them are very much valid, and some of them aren't even Gecko problems, they're problems with the MySpace website itself. But I'm not saying this to bash MySpace. It's just the way that they code their website. That has a problem with the way that Gecko browsers handle things. But after all, it's not Gecko's fault. Anyway, as this is the first Gecko 192 based build that I've made, for those that are very adventurous, I highly recommend, if you do download this build, back up your profiles and settings before you install this build. Just because I have not run into any major problems doesn't necessarily mean you won't. I've actually run into a couple of small problems, but ironically, one I didn't expect, and that was with Java. Strangely, just like with some of the versions of CMonkey 1.1, I can't remember all of the versions that had this problem, the Java 7 plugin would not work. Well, with Gecko 192, the Java 7 plugin does not work again. However, if you use Java 6 Update 14, which most people probably do have that version, or a version of Java 6, then it'll run just fine. But the problem with the Java 7 plugin is that, 1, it is not detectable, and 2, on certain websites where it tries to detect the plugin, it crashes the browser. So yeah, if you had Java 7 installed, uninstall it and install Java 6 Update 14 if you're going to be one of the people that install and try out this more or less test build that I'm not marking a test build, because after all it is such an early version of CMonkey 2.1 pre-alpha 1 that so much is going to change between now and alpha 1 that what you see now is probably going to be nothing compared to what the final version of CMonkey 2.1 or whatever version number it's going to be will look like code base wise. Of course, yes, the files are a little bit larger, as you can tell, than the CMonkey 2.0 pre-beta 1 builds are. That's just because of the changes in the code base, not because any other settings are tinkered with. And also, one little feature I want to talk about, and that is HTML5. By default, it is disabled. However, I enabled it on my build, not the released build. I did not enable it in the build that I released, but I enabled it on my personal build, and some things have sped up and some things have performed better. Now, I say this now because in previous test builds I've made, personal builds, when I attempted to run the test with the HTML5 enabled, it crashes. However, that does not happen in this build. So even though I have HTML5 disabled in the build that I released today, if you want to enable it, all you got to do is go to About Config, type that in the address bar, accept the warning, in the filter type in HTML5. The only preference that you should see then should say HTML5.enable. Highlight it, double click it, or right click it and hit toggle and enable it. Restart, close CMonkey and restart it, and it'll be enabled. And of course, if you have a problem, then just repeat the process to disable it. But I personally have seen no problems with it yet. And I've been running it for 6 hours now. So, yeah, pretty cool, I have to say, to get an optimized CMonkey 2.1 pre-beta 1 build out. But yeah, the main focus now shifts back to CMonkey 2.0 beta 1. My next build will come on the 15th. Hopefully it'll be a candidate build. And so if that is the case, which I believe it will be, those builds are going to be put in the releases folder. However, the naming convention will be different. Rather than a build that you normally see that looks like this, the naming convention for the candidate builds will look like this. And then of course, when the final CMonkey 2.0 beta 1 build is put out, it'll look like this. So that way people don't get confused, because some people got confused when I released CMonkey 2.0 Alpha 3 back before I had all the issues that I had back at that point. But that was a long time ago. But maybe now you won't be as confused about the naming convention for my candidate builds and release build when compared to nightly builds. But anyway, that's all I got for right now. Hopefully this didn't go well over 10 minutes. This is like my 4th attempt at this video. But anyway, I am Daniel Jr. and I will see you next time.